Hello, Jobjackers! Hopefully you're able to get what you needed from yesterday's value exercise. If not, feel free to pause this video and go back and spend a bit more time with that. I'll wait. Because today we are talking about how to identify your job hunt priorities and create an objective for your job hunt. This will really help you stay focused on what your most important needs and wants are with respect to the next job to guide your choices throughout your job hunt. So regardless of what curveballs come your way, you know what direction you're heading in and can determine your next best step. So we're going to keep this real simple. For today's exercise, you're going to list out the things that are important to you for the next job, or what I'm referring to as gains. Then, using your mad prioritization skills that you have been honing with your values, you're going to prioritize your target gains. Based on what rises to the top, you're then going to set a one-line objective for your job hunt that encompasses what's most important to you to get for when your job search is done. The output of this exercise is going to guide you throughout your job hunt, but especially during negotiation, where you're going to be trying to reach a mutually acceptable agreement with your employer. Having a clear objective and a prioritized list of your target gains will be really helpful during that process. So what are some of the types of things you might be including in your target gains? Well, a bunch of different things, but these can include things such as money, honey. That's the big one, right? Whenever I ask people, what do you want from your next job? Most people will talk about the money. But how much money is enough money? What do you need to cover all of your needs and at least some of your wants? If you don't know what that number is, I highly recommend doing a budget. There are a lot of great templates and apps out there to help you come up with a budget, but feel free to let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to provide my own budget template that I use to do mine. I do recommend that you come up with a range. So say your minimum from your budget is $70,000. You may want to define a range of 70 to 90K for your salary requirement. So you come up with your number for what you want to be receiving in your bank account each week or month. But that's not the end of the conversation when it comes to jobs and money. You want to consider whether your money is coming in through base salary, take home, or whether it's performance-based or variable compensation. If you're willing to take extra risk, there can be extra reward. And there are some professions, such as sales, that have commission as part of the structure. Similarly, if you're working at a startup, you may be typically offered company equity or options as part of remuneration in place of some of your take-home pay. For each of the items that may be relevant, I would recommend thinking about what you're comfortable with, whether you have any requirements around having or not having performance-based, variable, or non-cash compensation. Also related to the money, 401k and Roth IRA matching, which refers to the amount of money that your employer is willing to co-pay with you into your retirement savings. To learn more about retirement saving options, I recommend using your Google Food. This is a really important topic for long-term financial success. But for this exercise, you just want to identify what kind of match are you expecting to have for your retirement saving? What is your acceptable threshold and defining a requirement for that if you have one? Are there any other money aspects, expenses you would like your employers to cover, such as relocation costs or things like tuition or childcare? So anything financial, anything with dollars associated with it, consider what, if any, requirements you have. Another big theme of people's target gains for job hunt is time. So this has a number of different considerations, such as the total number of working hours for a week or a month. Is there a limit? Is there a minimum? Timing of those working hours. So are you averse to working on weekends? Do you want to have specific days or times of day that you work, considering your requirements for that? Do you need to have the ability to flex time? Do you, like for instance, do you want Friday afternoons off? Do you want to have the ability to flex off in short notice, such as to pick up a sick kid from school? Consider your needs there. Paid or unpaid time off, bearing in mind that with the right amount of money, you can pay yourself time off. But what are your needs here? Are there other things that you need time for that are important to you, such as education, volunteering, family, hobbies, other personal commitments? So consider your time needs there. There are a variety of other areas you may have considerations for, such as insurance, the most common type being health, like medical, dental, or vision. But there are a variety of different types of insurances employer may offer you. As a single person, I always have to consider insurance. I don't have the option to get it through a spouse or anything. Depending on your circumstances, this may be high on your list or it may not. Education benefits. Are you looking for your employer to pay for education, provide educational opportunities in-house, or subscription to large training providers? Are there other professional development opportunities that you're looking for, specific things that you want to work on or learn about as part of the job? The community aspect. What are any preferences or requirements that you have for your organizational or team culture? Is it important to you to be friends with and go out for drinks with your co-workers? Ethics. Is it important that the organization or industry that you'd be working for be meaningful or justifiable to you? How important is it to you to make an impact in your work? Think back to your values exercise to help kind of guide your answer on this. Is there anything else? What else matters to you in the context of a job? Is there anything else that would influence your decision to take the job or not? And this is true for everything in this exercise. If a particular gain wouldn't make a difference, whether you accept or refuse a job at all, don't worry about listing it. But is there anything else that would make that difference? One thing that's worth noting is that what you don't want may be as or more important as the things you do want. So if you feel very strongly that you don't want to work certain hours, or that there's certain conditions that you would be a breaker for you, go ahead and list that. So once you've captured your target gains, you're going to rank them by putting 1 against most important, 10 against the least important. If you have more than 10 items, you need to prioritize those. So everything over 10 kind of hits the chopping floor. We're focused on what are your most important things. You can have pretty much anything you want. You can't have everything you want. You are likely going to be forced to pick and choose. So we're not going to overcook this. We're just going to capture what's important to you, prioritize these, and move on to creating your one-line objective based on your top 1 to 3 priorities. For example, if your take-home salary of 70 to 90k is your top priority, second is no weekend work, and third is only working on space satellite projects, your objective may be make a decent salary on working on space satellites on weekdays only. I'm providing a template for you for this exercise, but if you have a different list making or note taking tool that you prefer to use, feel free. Enjoy the exercise and I will see you tomorrow.